What is up, everybody? My name is Gus Bus, and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Gus Bus.
Yo, we're back on CS2 today. It's been quite some time since I made an inventory video, so I thought, why don't I spend some time today and create a new one? Today, we're building out a pink inventory. I had a couple people comment on previous videos asking for a pink inventory, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Before we hop into an inspect server, I wanted to clarify a couple things. First one is pricing. I'm getting all of the prices from Sparkle's new site, Skin Search, so that's where you're seeing the pricing from. And all the skins are in factory new. Everything you're seeing is regular factory new, not stat track. So that's where that price comes from. Lastly, sorry about my voice. I know I sound a little bit sick, but I feel fine. Don't know what that is. But let's hop right into an inspect server and start going through the pink inventory. Starting with the pistols, we have the Glock. This is the Glock Vogue from the Fracture collection. This will cost you around $6 in factory new. Next up is the Neo Noir, a skin that's on a bunch of different weapons. It's from Operation Broken Fang. This will cost you around $45 in factory new. Next up is the Pink DD Pat. This will cost you around $65 in factory new. Really sick skin, and it goes really great with some Vice gloves if you can afford them. Next up is the Glock Fade. I believe it's the most expensive Glock in the game. This will cost you around $1,300 in factory new. Onto the USPS. This is actually a skin I really don't like. This is the USPS Cortex, and it's going to cost you around $8 in factory new. We are back with another Neo Noir skin, this time on the USPS, and this will cost you around $30 in factory new. Lastly, my personal favorite pink USPS, which is the Target Acquired. It's going to cost you around $150 in factory new. Not many pink options for the dualies, but the Melodramas are only $7 in factory new. Onto the 5.7, we have the Capillary or Capillary, not sure how to pronounce it, but this is only 25 cents in factory new. Really decent budget option. Next up is the Fairy Tale. This is a really sick skin, goes great with a pink inventory. It's going to cost you around $35 in factory new. Next up is the Hyper Beast. Not the most pink skin, but it's got some pink hits, so I thought I would throw it in. It's going to cost you around $90 in factory new. Next up is the Tacticat. Really sick skin, and this is only going to cost you around $1.50 in factory new. Fits awesome with the pink inventory. Next up is one of my favorite CZ Auto skins, and that's the Jiang Lu. It's a little bit pink, a little purple, but it's only going to cost you around $10 in factory new. Finally, we have the Fuchsia is Now. Really sick skin, fits perfectly with Vice gloves. It's going to cost you around $45 in factory new. On to the R8 Revolver. Only one really good option here, and that's going to be the R8 Fade. It's going to cost you around $15 in factory new. On to the Deagle. Definitely not my favorite skin in the game, but this is the Trigger Discipline. It is pretty pink, but don't love it. It's going to cost you around $2 in factory new. Next up is definitely not the most pink skin in the game, but it has some pink hits, so I thought I would throw it in. This is the Night Heist, and it's going to cost you around $10 in factory new. Onto the Tech 9, we have the Decimator. It's going to cost you around $35 in factory new. Looks so sick with Vice gloves. Onto the P2000, we have the Gnarled. It's only going to cost you around 25 cents. Definitely not the most pink, but it has some pink hits. Onto the P250, we have the Drought. Definitely not the most pink again, but it's only going to cost you around 30 cents in factory new. Onto the Mac 10, we have the Mac 10 Neon Rider, which will cost you around $9 in factory new. And we got the Discotheque, which will cost you around $11 in factory new. Looks so sick, one of my favorite skins. And we got another Fade skin. This is the Mac 10 Fade, which will cost you around $26 in factory new. Onto the MP9, we have the Capillary or Capillary, not sure how to say it still. It's going to cost you around 25 cents in factory new. And we got the Mount Fuji, my favorite MP9 skin. It's only going to cost you around $7 in factory new. Amazing, amazing skin. And for my high rollers, we got that Wild Lily, which is going to cost you $1,850. Crazy expensive skin, but looks amazing if you can afford it. Onto the UMP, we have the Wild Child, really cool looking skin from the Revolution collection, and will cost you around $12 in factory new. We got another Fade skin. This is the UMP Fade, which will cost you a whopping $425 in factory new. Another one for my high rollers. Onto the MP7, we have the Neon Ply. This will cost you $5 in factory new. Has some pink hits on it, so I checked it in. And we have the cheapest of the fade skins. This is the MP7 fade. It's only going to cost you around $8 in factory new. Onto the P90, we have the Neo Queen. Has some pink hits on it, so I threw it in, and it's only $1.50 in factory new. And then we have the Death by Kitty, my favorite P90 skin. It's going to cost you around $45 in factory new. Kind of pricey, but looks so sick. Onto the AK, we have the Neon Revolution, which will cost you $50 in factory new. Looks amazing in a pink inventory. Then we got the Nightwish, which will cost you around $65 in factory new. And finally, we have the Neon Rider, which fits perfectly with Vice Gloves and is $100 in factory new. Onto the M4A1S, we have the Decimator, which will cost around $28 in factory new. Then we have the Hyper Beast, definitely not the most pink skin, but I thought I'd throw it in here. This is $120 in factory new. And for my M4A4 users, we have another Neo Noir skin. This is going to cost you around $26 in factory new. And then we got the giveaway skin for today's video. This is the In Living color, and it's going to cost you around $28 in factory new. And finally, for my anime enjoyers, we have the Temu Cow, and this is going to cost you around $130 in factory new. Onto the Galil, we have the Chromatic Aberration Perfect Pink skin. It's only going to cost you around $8 in factory new. Next up is the Phoenix Blacklight. This will cost you $45 in factory new. You could argue that it's purple, but I see some pink in there too. And finally, we have my favorite Galil skin. This is going to be the Sugar Rush, which will cost you $55 in factory new. Onto the Famas, we have the Pulse, and this will only cost you around $6 in factory new. Then we got the Rapid Eye Movement, which is also $6 in factory new, so I guess you can just choose which one you like better. Onto the SG, we have another Pulse skin. This one's only going to cost you around $3 in factory new this time. But if you want a little bit of a softer pink, we have the Desert Blossom, which will cost you around $11 in factory new. Onto the AUG, we have the Death by Puppy this time. Super sick skin. It's only going to cost you around $9 in factory new. And for my high rollers, we have the Akihabara Accept. This will cost you $4,200 in factory new. We have another capillary or capillary skin, this one on the op, and it's going to cost you $1.50 in factory new. Then we got the Duality. This one's going to cost you around $12 in factory new. Looks really sweet, and it's a really good budget option for an op. Then we got the Fever Dream. This is going to cost you around $10 in factory new. Another good budget option for an op. Then we got another Chromatic Aberration skin. This one's going to cost you around $18 in factory new. And we have our final Neo Noir skin. This one's going to cost you around $25 in factory new. We have another pink DD Pat skin. It's going to cost you around $110 to get it on the op. And then we have the Op Fade. This is going to cost you around $1,000 in factory new. I prefer it in a low fade percentage as well. Onto the Scout. Starting off, we have the Fever Dream. This will cost you around $10 in factory new. Then we have the Turbo Peak. This will cost you around $12 in factory new. I love this skin. I think there's some pretty cool craft options. On to the Scar. This is actually the rarest skin in the game in factory new. It's the Splash Jam, which will cost you $1,900. Onto the G3, we have the Violet Murano, which will cost you $22 in factory new. Onto the Mag 7, we have the BI-83 Spectrum. This will only cost you around $2 in factory new. Really great craft potential. Onto the Novo, we have our final Hyper Beast skin. This is going to cost you around $27 in factory new. Onto the XM, we have the XOXOXM. This is going to cost you around $7 in factory new. And then for the Sod Loft, we have the Wasteland Princess. This is going to cost you around $6 in factory new. Fits perfectly in the pink inventory. Looks so sick. Then we got the Kiss Love. This will cost you $9 in factory new. You could argue again that it's purple, but there's definitely some pink in there. And then to the M249, we have the Downtown. This is only going to cost you around $2 in factory new. One of my favorite M249 skins. Onto the Knife and Glove combo. The thing that sucks is there's only one really good pair of gloves, but we'll get into that later. Starting off, a controversial take is the Shadow Daggers Fade. I know people don't really like Shadow Daggers, but for $265 in factory new, I think these look amazing and fit perfectly in a pink inventory. But for those of you who don't like the butt plugs, this is the Talon Knife Fade. You can get it for about $1,000 more than the butt plugs. This is in a low fade percentage, so it's a little bit more pink and purple. I think it looks sick. But for $1,000 more than the Talon Knife, you can get the Karambit Fade. This is again in a low fade percentage. It's a little bit more purple. I'll go ahead and show you what 100% fade looks like. So this is the Karambit in 100% fade. The cheapest listing on Buff right now is $9,900. That's crazy, but it does look really sick. I prefer the low fade percentage though. Another good option are Dopplers Phase 2. This is the Flip Knife Doppler Phase 2. It's going to cost you around $550 in factory new. Looks so sick in CS2. Then I wanted to show you another option for the Doppler Phase 2. This is the Bayonet. It's going to cost you around $715 in factory new. Fits so good with the gloves, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Let's get into gloves. So there's only one really shitty thing about building out a pink inventory, and that's that there's only one really good glove option. You can see I'm going through the different wears of the Vice gloves right now. Starting with Battle Scarred will cost you around $550, $560. Then Well Worn is going to cost you around $880. Field Tested is about $1,125. Then we're about to take a huge jump, and for minimal wear it's going to cost you around $3,670. And the crazy thing is, watch when we go up to factory new, it's not going to be that much different. See, look, that's the difference. It's not that much of a difference, and it's going to cost you around $15,750. Crazy, crazy expensive. So that's it. That's the pink inventory. It was a little bit trickier this time around because there aren't that many pink skins in the game, so you do kind of have to be creative. I did leave a couple guns out as well, like the Negev, the MP5, and the PP Bison. If you want those guns to have like some sort of pink flare, there are a decent amount of pink stickers, so you can definitely do some sort of craft with them. I also want to apologize about my voice again. Definitely seems like as this video went on, it's gotten worse just because I was talking so much, so apologies for my voice sounding real raspy and weird. But that's going to do it for the pink inventory. Let me know what themed inventory I should do next. I have a couple ideas, but I want to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.